Hey, happy Friday. Um, Hope you've had a great week. It's been a couple of weeks, once again, doing things at a different pace in my life. How about that? But let's get right down to why we're here tonight. We're going to talk tonight about fake moves or fake plays. You ever met someone who faked you out, right? We all have met folks who have faked us out, right? We started out with them with one intention, and we thought that was going to be what we were going to experience or receive from them. And then we find out that they did a bait and switch, right? They got us in there, got our trust, and did something different than what we thought that they were going to do. And so we want to talk a little bit about it from an offensive player posture. As an offensive player, you have the right to do what we call a fake play, right? Or to set up a scenario for a fake play, right? We're playing the game, and if I want to do a fake play, I could do like a fake shot. I can go up as if I'm going to shoot the ball, then I turn around and I do something different. I start to dribble it, or I don't shoot it, or I say I'm going to move left and then I fake and move right. That's a fake pass. I act like I'm going to pass the ball, but then I turn around and I run with it, or I dribble it. We even see that in football, like I'm going to throw it, and then I decide that I'm going to run with the ball. We can do what we call a fake play, and it's allowed. And so I wanted to talk to us about that, because I think sometimes as Christians, we think that we're supposed to let everybody in on what our moves are and what our plans are. And that's not so. When you are playing an opposing team, you don't let them know your every move. You don't give them a heads up. Hey, I'm going to go left. No. The element of surprise, the fake play is a real strategy, right? It's a real strategy. And so there's a couple of verses that I really want to talk to you about. One is I want to talk to you about Matthew 6, where it says, in verse 2, it says, "So when you give to the needy, do not announce it with trumpets, as the hypocrites do in the synagogues and on the streets, to be honored by others. Truly I tell you, they have received their reward in full. But when you give to the needy, do not let your left hand know what your right hand is doing, so that your giving may be in secret. Then your Father who sees what is done in secret will reward you." And that's a strategy. That's a strategy that says, no, don't let everybody know what you're doing. Don't let your right hand know what your left hand doing. Sometimes you got to, that song says you got to know when to hold them, know when to fold them, know when to walk away, know when to run. You never count your money while you're sitting at the table. It'd be time enough to count it when the dealing's done or whatever, We have the right to be strategic. And it's not being deceitful. It's just withholding information that will give your opponent the advantage over you. And so I just wanted us to understand that as offensive players, we do have the strategy of a fake play. If we go into Matthew chapter 7, verse 15, it says, "Beware of false prophets who come to you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly they are ravenous wolves." It's just basically saying beware of people who want to snuggle up next to you, be your friend, and they're nice and all of that stuff. And then one day you look around and you see the real nature, the real character of that person. But when we're talking about it as an offensive player, let's think about it from dealing with the opposites, the other team. You don't get so friendly with other team till you share all the plays. We can be friends off the court and we can talk about a lot of stuff, but when we get on the court, right, this is where we're playing the game, we are opponents. So I'm not going to tell you what our play is, and I'm not going to share with you what our next move or what I'm even thinking, right? You're not going to do that. I'm going to tell you, as Christians, we need to become more strategic. We don't need to tell everybody what God said or what God is going to do for us or what God has revealed to us. Sometimes we just need to move in silence, to move in a way where it will upset folks because they didn't expect to see us coming that way, right? So if we really want to go to the ultimate fake play, is we got to go to Jesus. The ultimate fake play was for Jesus to die on the cross. That was the ultimate, because God knew that he was going to be resurrected. And so while it looked like he was done, it was just the beginning. I want to tell some of you today that you are telling too much of what God has shared with you with people who are not on your team, who are not on your side, right? And sometimes it's the people that are close to us. Okay, all right, I can say it, Lord. The people that are close to us, sometimes you can't even share everything with them because they may not understand. I just remember when God first came to reveal himself to me, and he gave me my assignments and my mission to go forward. I was trying to convince everybody else that this is what he had called me to do. And so I was sharing with everyone, or people who didn't understand, who were not on my team. Not that they were necessarily my enemy, but they weren't on my team. I was trying to share with them what God was telling me, and a lot of them would come back and say something different, or sometimes redirect me differently, right? There are some people who were on my team who was like, you need to be doing this, and you need to be doing that, but I knew what God had told me to do. And so sometimes you have to do a fake play, right? You have to say, look like you're going to shoot the basket, but don't shoot it. Look like you're going to pass the ball, but don't pass it. Or look like you're going to dribble and then pass it. You don't always make an announcement of what God is doing for you and what God will do for you and to you. That's a strategy. Jesus didn't make announcements saying, oh, I'm going to Galilee, or I'm going here. He showed up. There's some things you just need to show up and quit talking about it. Quit talking about, well, God said I'm this, and God, you just stop it. Just show up. Because once you give it to certain people or in certain situations, it can work against you. A good person at the business table, or a strategist, they don't let you in on everything they're going to do. You know, there are people that they do let in, people who are on their team, people that they see as confidants. That's one thing. I can tell you one person you can let in on everything you're going to do, and that's Christ. You can share it with him. But I'm going to ask you to be more mindful and more strategic and talk to God about who should you be sharing your revelations and things that he's given you with. So sometimes you are dressing wolves dressed in sheep clothing, right? Sometimes people are not who they say that they are. So that's all I want to tell you today. A good offensive player, don't let the other team know their every move, and don't let them, and really, they have a lot of fake out plays if we watch basketball. I'm going to right and I'm going to left. You think I'm going to shoot? Think I'm going to take the long shot? I'm going to drive the ball in. It throws off your opponent. Because ultimately, as we all know, the end result of an offensive player is to drive the ball down the court, to hit the basket, to score the point, to win the game. Much love, Keita.